so why are you not gaining muscle? Well, there are a number of factors. There are about 4 factors, and I'm going to start off with diet. Whew, this is a tough one. So probably the most common reason why you're not gaining muscle is because your diet's not on point, right? If you've been watching my videos, or if this is the first video you watch and you don't really know much about gaining muscle, firstly I want to tell you, you need to be eating in a caloric surplus. That means eating number amount of calories over your maintenance. For example, if this was your caloric maintenance, so how many calories you just need to eat to maintain your body weight, your maintenance is here, and your caloric intake has to be there, right? So you need to eat about, say, 500 or say even 250 calories over per day to gain muscle. So it's likely, if you're not gaining muscle, you're not doing this. This is one factor. You're probably too scared of gaining a bit of body fat, and this is very, very common, especially for those people that have just finished dieting. They're really scared to put on some body weight, and to be honest, I don't blame you. I'm the same, but now I think you just have to switch your mindset, right? So that's factor number 1. You're not eating enough, and remember, this is eating enough consistently, right? This is not just one day going for about 5,000 calories and the next day, you forget to eat, you start eating 2,000 calories. This is every day eating consistent. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying go on a dirty bulk, eat everything in your sight. One sec. Okay, sorry about that. Someone was at the door to deliver a parcel, but that's not part of the video. So besides that, like I was saying, don't eat everything in your sight. Still try and eat as clean as possible. But then again, if you're a hard gainer, you might need to start adding some foods that are high in calories, like junk food, a little bit of it, but I don't really recommend it. You can still eat healthy fats that are high in calories and simple carbs. But anyway, that's the diet portion of it. Like, just, don't be scared of adding some body fat. I understand why some people are, but just don't be scared. But like I said, I'm not saying start gaining loads and loads of fat. Basically, use your common sense, right? Like, look down and see, okay, am I gaining a bit too much fat? Okay, I need to cut down a little bit. Like, not cut down, I mean cut the calories a little bit, right? Okay, so that's number factor 1, the diet. You need to be in a caloric surplus to give yourself the building blocks to repair your muscle tissue and grow. Number 2 is, let's talk about training. So number 2 is overtraining, right? And a lot of people, so it kind of almost annoys me, like they think, oh no, you can't overtrain, mainly because the people that take steroids and are on a juice always say, no rest days, no days off, like that typical saying. Bitch, you can overtrain, man. Like, have you ever like trained for like say 7 days a week for like 4 months or something? You're gonna be fried, man. There's no time for your body to recover at all. So overtraining does exist, and just, how can I say it? Just time it right. Don't hit too much volume, right? For example, you don't want to do like 5 sets of rows, then 5 sets of pull-ups, then 5 sets of deadlifts, then 5 sets of 1-arm rows or something like that. You don't want to overtrain your body too much, right? But what I will say is, say if you train 7 days a week and you train for about 3 weeks or say a month, but then you have like a whole week deload, that's not really overtraining because you're still giving that long break to rest, right? I'm talking like hitting the balls to the wall all the time. If you've been watching my recent video, you'd see I've been strength training for quite a long time, and I could feel my body's like starting to become weaker. Like, I could feel I need to take a deload, right? I could feel I was overtraining. So that's the second factor. If you're not gaining muscle, you're probably overtraining. Just cut down a bit on the sets and you should be fine. I can't actually tell you how many sets and reps you can do because everybody's different. Everybody can handle different amount of volume, for example. But just see what works for you. But like I said, don't go train 7 days a week for 4 months, man. Then there's something wrong with you. You're gonna overtrain. Okay, to recap, so far we have eating a caloric surplus, which is the diet aspect. Second is overtraining. Now the third is still to do with training. It's just how you train, right? So as you may know, if you watch my other videos, the main core principles to get big naturally is to progressively add weight over the bar, which is progressive tension overload and caloric surplus. Those are the 2 main factors to gain muscle. But there are some other factors that I'm going to mention in this video, but they are the 2 main. So anyway, training. Personally, what I recommend, and I think is just the best way to train, is power building, right? So what I do is basically do the powerlifting movements first, the compound movements, and then the isolation, the bodybuilding movements. So I kind of switch the focus in my workouts, right? So maybe the reason why you're not gaining muscle is because you're not adding weight to the body. That's probably going to be your main reason. But here I'm going to explain how you can add strength and gain muscle. I have made a separate video about this, but I'm just going to give you more information here, right? So power building, right? This is not something I've designed. It's been out there a long time. People are probably doing it without them even knowing and naming like their routine or philosophy. But I just think this is the best way to gain muscle and strength. So you do the compounds first, try and get real strong at them, the reps are a bit lower, and then the rest of the exercises are more isolation, bodybuilding movements. That's where you think about the mind muscle connection. So that's my opinion on how to gain strength from muscle. And what else is there? That's training. But the main core principle, like I said, if you're not adding weight on a bar progressively, it's likely you're not going to gain muscle. Because let's face it, if you benching 40 kg for the rest of your life, you're not going to gain much muscle. It's not going to happen. Well, if that does happen, let me know, because that would be interesting. So anyway, so far we have, to recap again, we have the diet, caloric surplus, the second factor was overtraining, and our third factor, progressive tension overload, which is basically saying add more weight onto the bar over time. Okay, now the fourth one, this is real important, and this is just a factor that I don't even know how to explain. It's like everyone neglects, everyone neglects this factor. Even when I talk to people that don't go to the gym, they're like, oh no, that's not important. The people that do go to the gym, they just neglect this shit all the time. I understand your lives, people's lives are busy, and probably a lot more busy than mine. They have kids, family, and all this stuff, but this has to be on point. And so what is this guy talking about? So one reason you might not be gaining muscle, and this might be the underlying factor that you probably are neglecting, is sleep. This is so important. Like, have you ever actually just had, like, say 5 hours of sleep, and then the next day you go out for a workout, your body feels, I don't even know how to explain this, like slow, like drained, almost like a hangover. I think I've only drunk once, so I don't really know how hangover feels, but just like you don't feel right, basically. Your body just feels low in energy. So that explains to you why you need more sleep. And have you ever, well, let me use an example. Have you ever gone out to a club or something and you come back 4 AM the next morning, then go train at say 10 AM, like your body just feels destroyed. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is, I'm just giving you examples that sleep is so important. And the reason why is because sleep is so important for your hormones, especially your testosterone in men. Like you need high levels of testosterone to build muscle, right? If you have real low levels, you're probably not going to be building optimal amount of muscle. So that's crucial for testosterone and other hormones. And if you didn't know, the most like sleep is when your body recovers, and that's where that muscle tissue repairs itself, and that's basically like building muscle, right? You go to the gym, you tear the fiber, and then it repairs stronger. So that's basically how to build muscle, if you didn't know that. So anyway, this is getting like real serious, you know. I'm getting like step by step, but yeah, this is basically why you're probably not getting muscle. So you're not eating in a caloric surplus. Either you're overtraining, either your training's not optimal, it's not on point, too much volume, which was overtraining. The third factor, which was training, you're not adding weight on the bar progressively. And remember, keep your form good, still have optimal form. Maybe on the compounds you can slip a little bit, but on isolation, have good form, definitely. And then the fourth factor, the underlying factor that I believe everyone neglects, and probably, actually I was going to say probably I do, but I don't. I get beauty sleep. I don't neglect that. And sleep. So I understand, like I said, people are on the grind, and I don't know why I did that, because on the grind, man, I respect people that go with like not a lot of sleep, always working. I understand that, but that's just, again, the sacrifices you have to make, right? Like when I want to do something and I have to do a lot of stuff in a day, my sleep comes down, so I know my recovery is not going to be as good. So it's just sacrifices you have to make. So anyway, I hope this video was informative to you. I try to make it as simple as possible, like I do in most of my videos.